What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. There has been so much hype for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, even the Batman, which is right around the corner. It's sort of hard to remember that Morbius is about to come out a full 2 years after its first trailer dropped. They finally dropped the final trailer, and it actually gave us much better look and context at what's going on in the scene with Adrian Toomes' Vulture, played by Michael Keaton, presumably a variant of our version in the MCU, but actually this trailer gave us a much better look at that scene, and while it may play into some of the plot with Morbius, and I'm going to explain why that's important in the future of what's going on with Sony's Villains crossover, it also gives us a look at how this may be connected to the MCU. We're breaking down the newest reveals in the final trailer for Morbius, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews to interviews and industry insider scoops, everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the sub button, leave a comment down below. I also want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor on this video, Street Level Hero. That's slhla.com. They have exclusive variant comic books with new releases every Tuesday and Thursday. You can only get those covers there, so save 10% on any item anytime you shop there by using the code EVERYTHINGALWAYS at checkout. That's also good for their sister site. Join that Spider-Man booth for live sales on Whatnot Daily. Click the link down in the description below to get new comics every single day, from key issues to limited exclusives. That Spider-Man booth is all about family and experience and has been around for over a decade. If you don't know what to collect, they'll even help guide you on your journey. You guys are always asking me about my comic collection from the streams. That's why I went ahead and just partnered with them. That's where I get my comics. If you're interested, the link's below.
What if I can't? Michael Morbius.
You've been given a gift.
Not exactly.
Time to let go of what you used to be. Discover who you're meant to be.
All our lives we've...
Okay, so we're going to do a micro and a macro breakdown on this, but the micro breakdown, surface level, we get a better look at what's going on in the scene. It seems like they're either cellmates and or Michael Morbius's cell is right next to Adrian Toomes in this prison. You see him basically giving him a pep talk about embracing whoever he's become. You then see him break right out of prison because he's able to. Now, on the macro level, establishing a bond between Adrian Toomes' Vulture and what's going on with Michael Morbius, not only the fact that they know each other, but some sort of pre-existing history whenever we go forward into what's going on with the Sonyverse is going to help bring together this modern Sinister Six that we know they're obviously building with Venom, now Adrian Toomes' Vulture, Morbius, and obviously Kraven, who we're about to see in his own solo outing, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson. Now, while the question looms, is this our MCU Vulture? They want it to. That's the whole point. By leaving this ambiguous, referencing the Andrew Garfield Oscorp Tower and Venom in the last trailer, they want you to keep asking that until you go to see the movie, thinking you might get an answer for it in the film. Although I'm not too sure there will. Look, there is a way forward for Sony. They've probably already filled in the blanks and worked it out, but in the meantime, they're letting the MCU set that up with what started in Spider-Man No Way Home, whatever rules and things they're about to explain in Multiverse of Madness, and really the whole goal is to get Tom Holland's Spider-Man, the one they've made billions and billions of dollars with, to cross over into a Sinister Six that has Venom, which they've already made billions and billions of dollars with. And look, I know this really seems like it's the opposite of what some fans are calling for, what you guys are hoping to see in a cameo from Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. And reading the room, maybe Sony, in reaction to what happened with Spider-Man No Way Home, maybe there's an outside chance, Lord knows there were enough delays with this film for them to be able to write it in, but reality says that it's Tom Holland's Peter Parker. Look, he said that most recently, Andrew Garfield, that he has no plans to play Spider-Man again, and I saw some of you point out immediately, technically that means he could have already filmed scenes for this, but just reading the tea leaves for what Sony wants to do, it's Tom Holland's Peter Parker. But don't get down on there being no opportunities for them to come together again somewhere down the line in the multiverse. We've heard industry insider reports of the setup of Null. That would be a great multiverse crossover, and I don't think, fans are done with the idea of these three Spider-Men teaming up. As far as this new modern day Sinister Six, though, they're setting up with the Aaron Taylor Johnson Kraven film and whomever else they bring in, it's Tom Holland's Peter Parker. It's always been Tom Holland's Peter Parker, and that's really what was at the crux of the re-agreement between Sony and Marvel, which seems like ages ago, but that was back in the fall of 2019. Sony wanted to make sure they were going to be able to get their bang for their buck. If they were going to allow Marvel to build out Tom Holland's Peter Parker, they eventually were going to need him back for the Sonyverse. My huge question is, regardless of how good or bad this Morbius film is, and I have pretty high hopes for it, I'm going to talk about that in just a sec, my real question is, how many of these can they set up as anti-heroes that we're supposed to empathize with before they have a Sinister Six full of villains that we want to root for just as much as we want to root for Spider-Man? And how much real conflict can they set up if they're all anti-heroes along the way? They've already seemed like they're setting up Venom to almost be a buddy-buddy with Spider-Man. I'm super curious on that. I do have high hopes for this film. Guys, look, I've said this the whole time, where I am a pretty heavy critic when it comes to films, especially outside of the Marvel genre. Look, these Sony movies that we're getting, there's a world where we wouldn't get a Morbius solo film, and as many film titles they're now doing on Disney Plus as well, Marvel Studios is, I'm not sure we would have ever gotten a solo Morbius film if it weren't for the fact that Sony has these rights and Marvel doesn't, and that for as small as a studio as Sony is, they make most of their money off the Spider-Man adjacent intellectual property. That's why they're doing so many of these films. It's sort of like the perfect Nexus event to have actually Spider-Man's Rogue Gallery, yeah, Nexus event pun, yeah, go ahead and get me in the comments, but to have Spider-Man's Rogue Gallery actually owned by a separate studio that is as small as they are, that really makes them put all of their eggs into this Spider-Man basket, which gives us a ton of solo villain films we might not have gotten under the Marvel Studios flag if different studio didn't have them. So you shouldn't look at them as, hey, it would really be better if Marvel Studios had this. It's not you shouldn't look at them as an if then or an instead of. You should just look at them as an addition to, and I want to live in a world where we get extra solo villain films. I like it, because it could be we don't get them at all. And compared to that, when I say I have high hopes for this film, I think it's going to be mildly entertaining at the very least, and the special effects look amazing. So I'm there for it. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below. Also, let me know in the comments, are you going to see Morbius in the theater? Are you going to see Batman in the theater? I'm all ears. Quickly, let's jump into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Okay, so we're still giving away the PlayStation 5 all the way up to $1 million, and we're doing that at every 20,000 subscriber mark. So we just gave one away for $940. The next one will be at $960. In the meantime, and starting tomorrow, every day of March, all the way up to the release of Moon Knight at the end of the month when we start doing the live watch parties, we're going to be giving away variant comics from our sponsor Street Level Hero LA and that's SpiderManBooth.com. They're who I've been getting my comics from for years. They're who a lot of my friends go through as well. They have a lot of awesome exclusive variants. I have a ton for you guys. So the way to be entered to win has always been the same here at the channel. All you got to do is be a subscriber, so smash the subscribe button, leave a comment down below because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. Make sure to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on to keep up with the content. And of course, if you like the video, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. I think working with YouTube, I have worked to take care of those WhatsApp spammers. Knock on wood, it's been a day or two, but just to reiterate, we announce all winners here in videos. You'll see that a lot more commonly coming up in March as we do it day by day for the giveaways for the comics. We'll also be running the giveaways over on my Instagram. That's at IamFires. I also make original music under All Fires. Thanks for checking it out, guys. Thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again. You're listening.